Marc Marquez has once again stolen the spotlight, not only with his performance on the track, but also with his post-race statement at the MotoGP race in Qatar. After achieving positive results, Marquez made a comment that sounded like a subtle dig at Pecco Bagnaia. Is this a form of psychological warfare from Marquez? Or a signal that their rivalry will heat up throughout the 2025 season? Let's discuss. Marc Marquez has once again shown his class as one of the greatest riders of all time. Riding a Ducati factory bike, Marquez successfully swept all the victories at the 2025 MotoGP Qatar, winning the main race on Sunday after also winning the sprint race the day before. It was his 7th win from 8 races this season and confirmed his dominance since donning the red Ducati jersey. Behind Marquez's glittering victory, however, the public spotlight was not entirely on him. In the midst of the victory euphoria, attention also turned to another figure in the Ducati garage. Ducati team manager Davide Tardozzi was quick to praise Marquez's teammate, Francesco Pecco Bagnaia. According to Tardozzi, Pecco has played a major role in the development of Ducati's current bike performance, a role that cannot be underestimated in the team's dominance on the track. Speaking to TNT Sports, Davide Tardozzi was full of praise for Ducati's achievements in the current MotoGP season. He stressed that this success was not something that happened overnight, but rather the result of consistent hard work and extraordinary dedication over many years. Tardozzi also highlighted the importance of the synergy within the team, the balance that is always maintained, and the vital role of the riders in providing technical input to the development of a competitive motorcycle. I see an extraordinary amount of hard work over the last few years at Ducati, said Tardozzi. And now I see very correct sporting decisions from the team. We have taken an important and courageous step forward. He went on to say that Ducati have shown great confidence in talented young rider Fermin Aldeguer, who will be an important part of their long-term project. We have a lot of confidence in Fermin. We are sure that he will be one of the main players in the future, and he has great potential to take Ducati even further, he added. Although much of the attention is currently focused on Marquez, who is riding brilliantly with satellite team Gresini, Tardozzi did not forget to highlight the big role played by Francesco Bagnaia in shaping the character and performance of the Desmosedici bike. There is no great secret behind our performance. It all comes down to balance and teamwork, explained Tardozzi. Our riders are very active in helping the technicians perfect the bike. Basically, our bike stays the same. There are just minor adjustments based on the needs of each rider. And we have to give a lot of credit to Pecco, because he is the person who has led the development process of the bike to this point. The main race of the Qatar MotoGP was full of drama and excitement right from the start. In the hot atmosphere of the Lusail circuit, packed with tens of thousands of spectators, Marquez showed his class as one of the best riders of all time. Despite an incident at the start of the race, the Spanish rider put in an exceptional performance and managed to emerge as one of the main highlights of the race. The incident occurred as he was entering the first few corners. Marquez was involved in a light collision with his own brother, Alex Marquez, which resulted in damage to the rear wing of his bike. The wing, which helps maintain the aerodynamic stability of the bike, appeared to be cracked and partially broken, leading many to predict that his performance would drop drastically. However, the opposite happened. Marquez not only defended, he attacked and dominated. After the incident, Marquez was still able to maintain his focus and race rhythm. He was involved in a fierce duel with several big names, including Franco Morbidelli and Maverick Vinales. The overtaking action between the three had the crowd holding their breath, especially when Marquez made an aggressive but clean maneuver on the sharp corner in the third sector. However, it was not just the aggressiveness that was key for Marquez this time, but also his precision in formulating race strategies. He looked patient and calculating. Marquez did not force his way into the lead at the start, but chose to save his tires and control the pace of the race. The strategy proved to be effective. As his opponents began to lose grip and slow down in the final laps, Marquez remained steady and slowly widened the gap. With near-perfect tire management and keen racing instincts, he continued to maintain his position and rode without making any significant mistakes all the way to the line. Racing analyst and former rider Sylvain Gintoli was full of praise for Marquez's performance. Marc was able to control the race from the beginning. He didn't push, he saved his tires, and he waited for the right time. It was a very mature strategy, he said in a post-race interview. Similar comments were made by Michael Laverty, who highlighted how calm Marquez was despite riding in less than ideal conditions. He must have felt it, but on this track it didn't cause any significant problems. The wings help with stability, but Marquez was still able to maintain his speed, he said. There was an interesting moment that caught the eye after Marc Marquez's brilliant victory in the last MotoGP series. In the post-race interview session, Marquez made a statement that immediately invited speculation from various parties. The phrase, which sounded relaxed but full of meaning, was seen as a subtle dig at his teammate and two-time world champion Pecco Bagnaia, who is currently under a lot of pressure. "This bike is a two-time world champion, so there's no reason not to win with it," said Marquez with a slight smile. Although it sounds like a normal statement, the phrase immediately became a topic of conversation among MotoGP observers. Many saw it as a form of psychological pressure aimed indirectly at Bagnaia, who has been inconsistent this season despite riding the same bike as Marquez, the Desmosedici GP. Since Ducati ended its 15-year title drought with Bagnaia's success in the 2022 season, the Italian manufacturer has indeed become a dominant force on the MotoGP circuit. The Desmosedici bike is known to be very superior in terms of speed, acceleration and stability on different types of tracks. However, the arrival of Marc Marquez this season seems to be a major turning point in the internal dynamics of the Ducati team. Known as an aggressive rider with exceptional adaptability, Marquez has shown his mettle immediately. Over the last few races he has managed to stay in the front of the pack and even score some impressive victories, making him a serious threat for the title. Many have said that Marquez has taken over the spotlight from Bagnaia. On the other hand, Bagnaia seemed to be struggling to find his best rhythm. Although he is still one of the top riders, his performance seems inconsistent and he is often behind Marquez in the final race results. This is certainly an inevitable comparison, especially considering how effective Marquez is at maximizing the potential of the same bike. Marquez's statement was seen as a subtle but pointed way of emphasizing that everything depends on the ability of the rider, not just the bike. A short sentence that could be a signal that he is ready to take on the role of lead rider at Ducati, and that there is no room to hide behind reputation or past titles. If the tension continues to mount, it is not impossible that the internal competition at Ducati will be one of the most interesting dramas of the season. And Marquez, with all his experience, seems to understand very well how to play this game, both on and off the track. On the other hand, Franco Morbidelli put in an impressive performance at the 2025 Qatar MotoGP Grand Prix, finishing third to claim his second podium of the season with the Pertamina Enduro VR46 racing team. Originally fourth, Morbidelli took the podium after Maverick Vinales was penalized for incorrect tire pressure. Morbidelli led the race for the first 10 laps, putting in a strong performance despite suffering from tire degradation in the second half of the race. The presence of Valentino Rossi in the paddock provided further motivation, with Morbidelli describing Rossi's advice as gold in helping him to perform at his best. The result was a significant achievement for Morbidelli, who has rarely finished on the podium at the Lusail circuit in the past. He said that the hard work with the team and adapting to the Ducati GP24 had paid off. The podium strengthened Morbidelli's position in the standings and showed that he is once again a serious contender for the 2025 season. With the combination of Ducati's increasingly mature technology and Bagnaia's strategic development, is there anyone who can stop Marquez's dominance, or will this pressure actually rekindle Bagnaia's fighting spirit? Let us know your thoughts below.